let me fix it. There we go. Hey, Star Fam. How are we doing? How are we do? Girl, I'm packing up my candles. Packing them up. They're not going far, but I'm still packing them up. How are we doing? How are you all doing? What did you guys think about this episode? It was cute. It was cute. I will say they're giving more than they did give last season, but I think that's because of Heather and Noella. And this is supposed to be an ensemble show, but it was cute. It's a cute little something. Cute little something. Although we're still beefing, shout out to Bath and Body Works. I'm still wearing my winter candy apple until it's officially spring, and then I switch over to cucumber melon. How are y'all? Oh, there you go. I'm like, where are my comments? Hey, oh wait, you guys can hear me. Hey, Star Fam. Oh, Tony said the show fell off for her. Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing. This cast just needs a reboot. Like I said before, they need to bring back Megan King Edmonds. She has a great story now. Not only did she divorce her father, she got remarried, married a Biden. They got divorced within a month. She has a very interesting story. Also, she was somebody who was not allowing the girls to get her together. So even if Vicky doesn't return, Tamara definitely will. And she will be able to take on Tamara. Tamara is good as well on this show. I think she's going to be a friend of the show, but they need to make her full time. I love Gina and Emily. I think they're really fun and nice people. I just think for the Real Housewives of Orange County, they need somebody else. That duo just does not work. I do think you need to keep Noella and Heather. Shannon, I'm not sure, because Shannon only does well when she's unwell. And I just don't think that's good to watch her have all these meltdowns. She was funny in the Trace Amigas, but I just don't know. But if if she does stay, I wouldn't mind. But I would just say recast Gina and Emily and those and that chick who sued Terry DeBro, but acted like she didn't sue him, and her and Heather, got over their beef really quickly. She's just, I don't feel like she's bringing it. Dr. Jen, yeah, no, I think we need Bronwyn, we need Tamara. And I only say Bronwyn because she's a polarizing character, and not only will Bronwyn give you a show, Bronwyn will do what she needs to do, right? She, it's unfortunate to say, but Bronwyn destroyed her whole family for a TV show. I'm not saying I need her to go that deep, but Bronwyn will show up and Bronwyn will give us a show, and she will be polarizing. Like, even if you don't like her, you will be talking about her. Megan King Edmonds, I said Jesus Barbie, but you guys weren't really feeling Jesus Barbie. But I say Tamara, Noella, Heather, Jesus Barbie, Bronwyn. And then I think we need Joe. I like Joe from the first season of The Real Housewives of Orange County. If you cannot get her, I feel like The Real Housewives of Orange County should have a Mexican woman on this show. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Mexican people are the majority in Orange County. They're a huge population there. So I don't understand why we do not have a Mexican-American housewife on their show. It makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's what needs to happen. This cast is just not working. And Shannon, we can keep Shannon, but the cast just isn't working. It isn't working, and these Bravo shows only do well if you have ladies who want to show up to work, or if you have ladies who have been friends for a very long time and know each other, like the Real Housewives of New York. The Real Housewives of New York fell off because the ladies just didn't have relationships, and they were trying to make drama without knowing each other. So, hey, Bianca. Bianca said, Nikki, I heard she auditioned like twice and they didn't want her. I didn't think they had to audition once they'd been on, but that's what she's implying is why she's not on. Who, Tamara or Megan? I hope they're not making Megan King Edmonds audition. That would be interesting. But JB, Shannon would fold like she folded with Heather. Shannon would fold. Shannon would fold. Oh, Tony said, yes, Nikki, recast with the ones you were saying. I'm with that. Yeah, because not only do they have relationships, those ladies show up to work. Hey, Alicia. How are you guys doing? And yeah, Bianca, let me know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Megan or Tamra? JB says, what says? We won't see Nicole. She refused to take the vaccine from what I heard. Who's Nicole? Who's Nicole? So stuff that canceled this show. You know what's unfortunate about this is that the Real Housewives of Orange County is able to live again, right? Time after time after time after time. But the Real Housewives of New York got put on pause. Can you tell I'm pissed about that? I'm so pissed about that. The Real Housewives of New York has been delivering. They had one COVID season and Bravo put them on pause. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Hey, Tia Bia. Oh, really? So Steph said that. Well, the largest Vietnamese population is in America is in Orange County. I would say a Vietnamese housewife as well. But in LA, when you hear of Orange County, you really think of Mexican Americans. I just don't understand how that's not the case, which is why when the first time I went to Orange County, I was very surprised because the only thing I knew of Orange County was the Real Housewives of Orange County. And when I went to Orange County, I was very shocked about how the population looked. So yeah. What, Megan had to audition? That's crazy. That is crazy. She was the one who discovered the Brooks cancer scam. Why does Megan have to audition? Ciao. Anyway, let's get into this. Let me check and make sure my notes have transferred over. Wait a minute. Did they? Hold on. Hold up. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Yeah, my notes are all here. Let's get into it. Guys, as you know, I'll go through my notes, and then after, I give my thoughts on the episode and the show. I'll chime in with you guys after that. So let's get into Noella. Again, she's polarizing like Bronwyn. I will say having Noella and Bronwyn on the same show will be absolutely chaotic. But the Real Housewives of Orange County need chaotic. They need chaos. That's what works for them. Chaos works for them. So, although I think that they should be on the same show, I just get ready for chaos. But that's how Orange County, that's how they do. That's how we were introduced to Orange County. We were introduced to Orange County through pure chaos. They have never been this calm. And I think that's why people are not tuning in, because the Real Housewives of Orange County did not start off like that. And so for you guys to be cool, calm, and collected and not giving us much, it's unnormal. It's not normal for the Real Housewives of Orange County to be like this. So I love Noella. I think she's polarizing. I think she's what this show needs. She shakes these dry Barbies up. They're so caught off guard by the fact that they cannot shake her, which is also good, especially in a newbie, because this is the thing. And Ebony on the Real Housewives of New York did the same thing. And that's why a lot of the housewives had an issue with her. You cannot haze Noella. You just can't. Heather absolutely got paid the most, and Bravo absolutely begged this woman to come back to the show. So she came on the show like the HBIC, which is what Bravo hired her to do, right? So she thought that she was going to be in charge of the girls. So her biggest issue with Noella is that Noella is not bowing down, right? Noella is not falling in line, and Noella is refusing to be hazed by the OGs. It's just not going to happen. And that's the same thing that Ebony did on the Real Housewives of New York, and the ladies had a problem with that. So that's when they start calling her difficult. That's when they start saying that she's hard to be around, because she's not going to sit there and let you say anything to her and she eats it. That's their biggest issue with her. Now Noella has other issues, but I just want to point out the fact that the reason why she's having such a difficult time on this show is that she refuses to be hazed. And that's what happens to a lot of the newbies. There are some newbies, No, unfortunately, I'm not, coming at Crystal. I'm just using her as a great example. There are some newbies who come on these reality TV shows and they fall in line. They see the order of power and they fall in line where they fit as a newbie. And then you have the Ebony K. Williams. Then you have a Noella. Then you have who was a newbie that refused to be hazed on Atlanta? I can't think of it because I think that everybody fell. Oh no, what is her name? She now is on Fox Soul with Funky Dineva. She was on the Real Housewives of Orange County, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she refused to be hazed. She didn't last, but newbies who do not allow themselves to be hazed on the show have a really difficult time. If you go back and watch all the newbies, the ones that have not bowed down, the language is always the same. She's difficult or she's hard to be around. No, she's not accepting your mess. Yes, you were on this show before her, but that does not mean that she has to fall in line. I do think that Noella needs an ally, right? Um, not not because Noella requires it, right? I think Noella can hold her own. But when diversifying these shows, I think where Bravo is making a mistake is that they're throwing one person of color into the show, right? Or if they have a person of color on the show, they throw another person of color on the show and think, oh, we got two POCs, not knowing that they're from two totally different cultures. So I think for somebody like Noella, you would have to have somebody on there who is either another person of color or somebody from her said same culture. Because even if this is not what's happening, it's always going to look like, even if Noella is being annoying and attacking everybody, it's always going to look like the white women are ganging up on the only black woman or brown person on this show. So you always need to mix it up, right? You got to mix it up culturally, because it's just not going to look right. Because even when I was watching this, I was just like, the optics of this are not good, even though I agreed with Gina and Emily and even Heather, right? The optics just did not look good. So they definitely need to diversify this show a bit more, especially if you're going to have somebody like Noella on there, who is proud to be the first black woman on the Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't see her not leaning into she's being treated like this because she's a black woman. So Bravo, throw somebody else up in there. Throw somebody else up in there. The optics will not look good. She definitely needs melanated allies. I also want to talk about this because 2 episodes ago, before this trip even happened, Heather was acting like Noella was not allowed to come on the trip. This was her trip, and she did not want to invite her because she knew that Noella would be a problem. That really bothers me on these shows, right? I do not like it because, first of all, this is not your trip. This is a trip that you're contractually obligated to do, and Bravo just picked you to host this particular trip. I do not like it, and I think that Bravo needs to start, or the producers need to start letting the ladies know. When y'all let them know about these cash trips, let them know that even if we picked you to lead this trip, you cannot disinvite anybody. You cannot say who can and cannot come, because at the end of the day, this is an ensemble show. We don't want to tune in and watch 2 or 3 ladies hang out all the time because they're besties. That's why the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is not doing well, or did not do well last season. I mean, they got some good views, but it was just still like, we were very bothered by the fact that it was just very clicky. We're not tuning in to see clicks. We're tuning in to see this train wreck ensemble cast go at it or have a good time every week, right? So that's what we're tuning in to do. That really just bothers me, though, that there was a possibility that Noella could not have gone on the trip. And to that I say, if Noella was not on this trip, what would we have? What will we be talking about right now if Noella wasn't on the trip? You see what I mean? Every conflict or every issue or all the mess or all the drama or even some of the fun moments revolved around Noella. So if we did not have Noella, the only thing we would have is Shannon, dry humping a pinata donkey. That would have been the whole episode because everybody has, excuse me, fallen in line with Heather. Excuse me. So you know what I mean? Like, so I just, that bothered me because I was like, if Noella wasn't there, what would we be talking about today? So I just hate that they allowed them to do that, and I hope they stop that moving forward. Let's get into Emily before I get into the episode. I don't like this Chris Farley rebranding that Emily is doing. It's so drastic and so weird. It makes me feel like because she doesn't have anything going on, that she agreed to this kind of storyline where she's just like this, this big burly housewife Chris Farley character where she's eating, foot long Subway sandwiches in a sauna or walking around with like a 2 liter of ginger ale or just being like gross. And I don't know, it's like very exploitive. If you watch Drag Race, it's giving cornbread, right? And even cornbread got checked by that from Lonnie Love. And Lonnie Love was just like, you can do comedy. If you don't watch Drag Race, cornbread is a full figure drag queen. And a lot of her comedy, not a lot, all of her comedy had been about being overweight and just eating everything and being a big girl, right? But it wasn't like big girl pride. It was like, I'm a big girl and I'm eating all the chicken and I'm eating mashed potatoes. And it was just, that was the height and the lowness of her jokes. That's what Emily is giving me. It's giving like, since I'm, the tallest and the biggest here, I'll just be this, gross brute. And it's uncomfortable to watch because it's obvious that this is not who you are because we've seen you all of these seasons. So now all of a sudden, you're walking into a boutique where everybody is shopping, drinking a 2 liter of ginger ale. It's just weird. It's so weird. And I'm like, just say you don't have nothing going on. You and Shane can fake marriage problems because, truth be told, it looks like Shane don't like you or his kids. I know that's not the truth, right? But Shane is just somebody who is just bothered by everything. So you could have faked another, marriage issue storyline because he just gives off that he don't want to be bothered. So she could have done that. But this character that she's playing now, like when she was acting drunk and putting the napkin on her head, and then when she was acting drunk at her party, talking about Dr. Jen and like trying to expose her, and Gina was like, I know where this is going, Tequila Emily. And I'm like, when the hell did we get Tequila Emily? Where did that come from? Like all of a sudden she has like this rebranding on this show and none of us have seen it. Like Gina keeps on referencing to, who she can be once she has too many tequila shots. And I'm like, when did this happen? It's just very weird. It's very weird. And it's very unbecoming, Emily. It's very unbecoming. Just say you don't got nothing going on. You could drop down a friend of the show. Aren't you and Shane both lawyers now? Do y'all really need to check that bad or the attention? I'd rather drop down to friend of the show than embarrass myself on TV like this. It's weird that you were taking this role, and it seems like this was something that was created for you and you went along with it. Here is why: because the shots that the cameraman is getting of her now is very weird. They're always zooming in on her like stomach or her thighs or her backside. And listen, I think Emily has a great body, right? But we know the demographic that this audience is. We know the demographic of this audience, and we know within that culture and community, a woman of Emily's size is not one that is celebrated. So you're zooming in on her behind and all her imperfections, and we're seeing stretch marks and cellulite. I don't have a problem with it, but when you put all the facts together, right? Who this community, this culture, this community, this audience that this show is marketed to. And now you have her in a sauna with a foot long Subway sandwich, or you have her, walking around with this big bottle of soda drinking out of it. And it's like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to say? What is happening? Because next season, is she going to have like a weight loss storyline? I'm telling you right now, that is going to backfire. So whatever this is, Emily, don't do this again. It's not working for you. Um, Now let's get into this episode. Heather was doing the absolute most about those cards. I absolutely think that those cards were inappropriate. Why I say that Heather was doing the most, because the last episode and the rest of in the remainder of this in the beginning of this episode, Noella was obviously shocked and mortified, and she apologized. For Heather to continue to go on, oh, it was pornography. That's why I didn't want you on this trip. You didn't want her on the trip before she gave you daughter the cards, because everybody was telling you that she was talking about you. So that is a lie. You did not want her to go, but you used that excuse because you knew that the ladies, all of a sudden, these ladies who do all this stuff on this TV show, all of a sudden their Mother Teresa and the kids. Your kids are like 30. They always do this. Well, my kids, that's why. Your kid is 32. Like, what are you talking about? They always do this mess. But I think that Heather focused on the cards because she knew that everybody would rally, with her and be like, oh, yeah, well, you should not have given that to her 17-year-old daughter, right? And I will say, Heather did something that walked up my back. Before Noella could even respond, she said, and don't throw the bisexual gay card at me, because I have children who all identify with different sexualities. First of all, are you outing your kids? Because I only know about her bisexual daughter, who she wrote a book in, Heather and her daughter was promoting that. But I'm like, are you outing your other children? Because I didn't hear her talk about any other kid having different sexual identities until she was using it to defend herself for calling these cards pornographic, because she knew what she was doing with that. So when that came out of her mouth, she made sure she cleaned that up and saying, oh no, I'm not being homophobic at all because I have gay kids. That don't mean nothing. You can be homophobic and have gay family members. Are you kidding me? Do you know the reason why houses were made? Because the gay people who were young were kicked out of their families. Mothers and fathers kicking them out of their homes, being disowned because they are of the LGBTQ identity. So having gay children does not make you not homophobic. And I just didn't like that, because I'm like, why would you even throw that out? Because Noella never said that. Noella was just, caught off guard because you're reading the stuff that's on the cards. Now, is it absolutely her responsibility to be aware of what she's giving to a minor? Yes. But when it was obvious that she didn't know and she was apologizing, just mortified and embarrassed, why did you keep on going? That's why Noella said, are we done? Because she knew that obviously Heather did not want a reconciliation. She just wanted to embarrass her more. Ciao. I say all this and I still love Heather on this show. Listen, she's showing up to work. She knew that they hired her to be in charge of the girls, and she is doing this, just that. I can't get mad at her for showing up to work. I will say, since we're on Noella, you have to make sure, Noella, that you're not isolating every ally that you have on the show. Gina and Emily have been good to her. Why she keeps on snapping on them, I don't understand. And it seems like they're all not in a good place, because Emily was talking real slick about her on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch Watch What Happens Live with Gina, but I feel like if Emily don't like Noella, then Gina's not far behind. So apparently she burnt that bridge. She burnt that bridge, and she burnt it with Gina very quickly. And I don't know, Gina, because I get that Noella is annoying. Listen, she couldn't talk to me like that, right? So I understand. But for you to be over her so quickly, it's just weird that you don't give her any kind of chances. And I think it's probably because, not saying it's because of her culture or anything, but I think, or her race, I think it's because she's a newbie and that Gina's so quickly throwing her away, because Gina probably feels solidified on this show. Nobody on Orange County should get comfortable, in my opinion, right? Shout out to Vicky. She said, this is my show, and they put her off it. Anyway, it was just very weird to me how Gina burned that bridge with Noella rather quickly. But I understood her being upset with her because why is Noella snapping at Gina and Emily because because Heather got her together? I felt like she was still in that place of being upset. And so she just misdirected her anger towards her friends who she felt like should have had her back and gave her a heads up that Heather, did not want her to come or was upset with her about the cards. I understand that. I still think that Noella overreacted and should not have treated Gina and Emily that way because what we have seen, they have been really good friends to her. When the girl who she came on the show with, who she said was her friend, has been a terrible friend to her, and they're making up and they're friends again, and everybody in her Instagram comments was just like, Noella, look out because this girl was never a friend to you. But maybe they're trying to make an alliance for next season. Who knows? But very weird that she's back friends with that woman. And I forget that lady's name, but she was never a good friend to her. But Emily and Gina have been. So I just don't understand why Noella would treat them like that. Girl, you're isolating everybody. And you cannot keep on blaming this on your divorce and the things that you are going through. At some point, you have to be an adult and you have to treat people the way that you want to be treated. You can't treat people like crap and then expect them to be this overall great friend to you when they have just met you. Too better, Noella. You're still doing great on the show. Let's get into Heather, why I love her and why she's great for this show. So Shannon invites Heather and Terry and who was the other couple? Emily and Shade to her boat dinner party or whatever, right? Why did Heather show up to Shannon's neighborhood? And then Shannon lives in a pretty good neighborhood, right? Why did Heather show up to her home like she was in a ghetto? Did you see how Heather walked in there? Heather was like, oh my God, this is cute. Clutching her purse to her chest like she about to get robbed. And then she was acting like she didn't know how to knock on the door because the door was so filthy. She's clutching her purse to her chest and she's like, oh. Wow, this is so nice. They got to keep her. They got to keep her. She had me on the floor. I was like, Heather, this is a nice neighborhood. You need to stop. But that's why she's good TV. That's why she's good TV. Let's get into a stack of vaginas. Noella, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, first of all, I think she's trying to. I'm not saying that Noella is not proud to be Black. Who knows Noella before this show? Because did she always identify as Black? Anyway, I'm not saying that she is not proud to be Black. I'm not saying that she is not a proud bisexual woman. I think those two things got her on this show, and I think she's just doing too much, right? Because I just don't, and I could be wrong, Noella, but I just don't feel like you talk about being Black or bisexual as in real life as much as you do on the show. I just don't buy it, right? And and I feel like she does a lot of things to show that she's this bisexual, free-spirited woman, and nobody has a problem with that. But I think she keeps on doing things to shock people. Although she never brought up the stack of vaginas, right? It was brought up by somebody who was supposed to be her friend, who she's now back friends with. It was brought up by Dr. Jen. It was brought up by Dr. Jen. And Noella was like, well, I don't care. I can show you the stack of vaginas. And, she's showing everybody. But I think Noella knew to show people was to shock people. And it's very weird. It's also very disrespectful because you were not the only vagina in that picture. And yes, you can be free to show your body and do whatever you want. But we are not aware if you got the permission of the other two women who were in that picture to show that, or did they even know that they were, that somebody was taking a picture of them, if this was supposed to be some birthday present that you got for yourself and for your husband, right? That just was It just made me uncomfortable because I'm just like, do they know that you're sharing this? Do they know that there's a picture? And do they know that not only are you sharing it with people at this event, you are also sharing it on camera? So now that picture is somewhere in Bravo's footage and everything will leak at some point, right? Because if it's on TV, it's going to live forever. And it's not hard to remove a black screen off of an image. So I don't know. That just rubbed me the wrong way. It rubbed me the wrong way. And I feel like Noella did it because she's very anxious to show that she can, be a good asset on this show. And I don't think she has to do as much because I think she's already serving, but she tends to go too far. And I think she went too far right there, in my opinion. Let's get into Gretchen slash Teddy, also known as Dr. Jen, because she looks just like if Teddy and Gretchen had a baby. It would be Dr. Jen. It would absolutely be Dr. Jen. Anyway, is Dr. Jen, let me know in the comments, is Dr. Jen older than her husband? Something is really off here. It's really, really off here with this marriage. And she said on Watch What Happens Live, they're in a really good place, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because it's honestly giving I came on this show to end my marriage. That's what it seems like because Dr. Jen doesn't talk about anything else but the fact that her husband doesn't wear a shirt and doesn't work. You keep on telling these women how you're the breadwinner and you take care of everything, and he doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work, and he does not work. He doesn't contribute to the home, and he ices you out from your relationship with your kids. Why are you still with him? I absolutely agreed with him when they were sitting down and she was trying to tell him how to love her on camera. It already looks like the guy does not want to be on this show. It looks like he did this show for her. And halfway through that conversation, he was just like, I'm done. And she was like, oh, why would you walk away? And then she goes in a room to go talk to him. And she's like, why we were having a conversation? He said, I don't want to do this. And it was very obvious that he did not want to be berated by his wife on camera about how he's not a good husband. Why do y'all do this? It's so weird how people come on this show and sacrifice their marriages. And that just makes me think that you are just not in a good place and you want it to be done. And you rather do it on a TV show because then you not only do you have job security, you also have a storyline. I just feel like he doesn't want to participate in that, but Dr. Jen does. So are you trying to get out of your marriage and using the show to do it? Or do you resent your husband for not financially contributing to the home so it comes out on camera? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Because Ron, Pork Ron, whatever that man's name is, he seems checked out of the marriage as well. I don't know. I don't think Dr. Jen is coming back. No shade. I just don't think she's doing well with the viewers. She's, what is it? I tried to find a synonym for forgettable. I just don't remember her a lot of times until she has a confessional. I remember Messy Noella. Anyway, that's all my thoughts about this show. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. I'm going to go up and get some older comments. I did not say hi to Vaca. Hey, Vaca, glad you're here. Of course, Vaca would be here. Of course, Vaca would be here. Tia B has said, although Noella is shaking things up, I'm just not feeling her. I understand. Yes, thank you, Pink Petals. Claudia, that was her name. Claudia Jordan. She was one who refused to be hazed. Nene kept on trying to haze her, and she would not do it. That is why Nene fell out with Kenya, because in the beginning, Kenya was allowing herself to be hazed by Nene. And then she saw how the fans responded to her, and she came on the next season and was not going to allow herself to be hazed by Nene. And that's when they started to have problems because Kenya was really trying, and she really fell in line behind Nene. And then Nene would just not give her a break. And then Kenya said, forget this, forget this. And here we are. Here we are. Hey, Nikita, how are you? JB says, what said Heather should have called Noella about that gift instead of telling Gina and Shannon. I do agree. But then Heather can also say that she didn't want to call Noella because, she probably didn't want to get it. Yeah, no. Because I was going to say she probably didn't want to get into it with Noella since Noella is not somebody that she can talk down to. So maybe doing it in front of people was better for her because not only does she feel protected in a way of they will side with her, but also, to embarrass her on camera. Hi, Kyra. Is it Kyra or Kara? Let me know. Yeah, JB says what? Me too. But that's what Heather was hired to be. Heather was hired to be in charge of the girls. I guess nobody notified Noella because Noella said you could be in charge of everybody else but me, which is why this has become a Heather and Noella season. And listen, thank God for them, because what would we be talking about if Heather and Noella was not on this show? What would we be talking about if Noella was not beefing with Heather? Every beef has been resolved in one episode. Every beef. Emily was going after that. I keep on forgetting that lady's name. Going after that lady that sued Terry 6 years ago. Her and that lady got into it. Then the next episode, they're cool as a cucumber. Dr. Jen and Noella was going after it, and then all of a sudden, Dr. Jen and Noella just disappeared. And Dr. Jen, her beef with Noella would have been the best thing that ever happened to her. The best thing, because now without her beefing with Noella, we don't remember her anymore on this show. Ciao. Yeah, I do. I feel like that, Morgan. I definitely think she's putting it on for the camera. It's very weird to me because I'm just like, this is not who you are. Like, it may be who she is, but we just have not seen this person at all. And it's like so aggressive how it's just this change all of a sudden. Tequila Emily? Since when? What are we talking about? Very weird. Yeah, out of nowhere, Bianca, when? If anybody was going to close the bar down, it was Gina. It's so weird. It's so weird. Shane is actually more likable this season, and I can't believe I'm saying that. He's very likable. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he went to therapy. I don't know if maybe he was stressed because of the bar. And now that he's finally past the bar, he can breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe that's what it is. But he's enjoyable this season, especially when he gossiping with the ladies. Shane be asking questions when he was talking to Noella. He was talking to Noella and he was like, okay, so who don't we like? Let me know. Point me in her direction. I was like, you know what? I like Shane as a housewife. He can be very good. It was funny. Oh, that's what you think, Miss T? Miss T said Emily and Gina decided to be the fun besties this season, but it's overkill. I do agree. I do agree because now they have like one mind. And it's like, we have to be honest, y'all weren't strong characters to begin with. So to link up and make this like bland mid character of a team, it's yes, she is, Greta. Big frat boy behavior. Kyra said, I'm sorry. It just feels like Noella just has an issue with Heather because she thought she would be the fabulous one with the 10,000 square foot rental she's currently squatting in. Oh, God. Oh, that could be it. That could be it. Miss T says that Heather could have pulled Noella aside and explained everything to her. She could have, but it's a TV show. We need to see the confrontations. I just felt like Heather, some of the words she was choosing when speaking with Noella, I was like, ooh, yeah, that doesn't feel right. And please, don't throw the gay card at me. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Your bisexual or gay children does not give you the right to tell somebody how they can and not be offended by how you talk to them about their identity. Who are you? Who are you? So she can't be offended if you're calling gay cards pornographic. She can't be offended. Even if she was, she still has that right? But Noella didn't say anything. Heather brought that up. So why were you already thinking that before you even had this conversation with her? Weird. Hey, IA. IA said, I just like the way that Heather holds her husband's worth over the ladies. Heather is unaccomplished. She didn't get to where she wanted in life, so she fills her days with nonsense just to forget. Yikes. Get it together, IA. Hey, listen to the Nikki Star TV General Tracy said, Star family, please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We're looking to get to 1.25 million by the end of the year. It's early. We can do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Ryan. Ryan said, Heather irks me so bad. She was trying to copy Erica Jane when she threatened Shannon. Who's afraid of you, ma'am? And that's a hard 52. I will say that I could not believe that Shannon accepted that from Heather. I could not believe she let Heather talk to her like that. I was so upset with Shannon. I was so upset with Shannon. Oh, you know what? I must have missed that. Maybe her mic was low, but you heard it, so maybe I just missed it. Kyra said, Heather said that the children part after Noella said, I'm biracial, bisexual, liberal woman in OC. If she is not Bronwyn with a tan, my God, today. Could you imagine those two in one season? It would have been chaotic, good TV. It would have been a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It really would have. Hey, Marvina. Marvina said, Noella is a pain in the A. However, Gina pisses me off that she can't hold water. She is always telling someone else's business just to be messy. Well, Gina is the bone carrier this season because everything is going good in Gina's life. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm going to let her be the bone carrier, considering what she went through. I'm going to let her be the bone carrier this season. But if you're going to be the bone carrier like Miss Sheree Whitfield, then you have to own up to it, right? You can't be the bone carrier and then act shocked when you're confronted about the mess that you were spreading. She by Sheree was like, oh yeah, I said it. Yeah, that's what I said. Right? You have to own it. You have to own it. And that's my only issue is that Gina doesn't own it. Oh, Nicole, that's her name. Yikes. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Bianca said, I have to go back to catch that part with Heather. Is it the bisexual liberal woman thing? Yeah, that's what I see too. That's what I think too, Kyra. Kyra said Noella talks about sexual experience like that, like they are the exploits for shock value rather than it being her life. I absolutely get that. I absolutely get that. And I absolutely get this, Ryan. Ryan said Noella gives me cousin of Mary Crosby. Yep. Absolutely. 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 Hey, TS. TS said the weird thing is all those sexual escapades did not keep a man or a husband. No matter how beautiful or kinky you are, it doesn't keep a man. I don't think she was doing it to keep a man, though, TS. I think that that's just who Noella is. Like, she got on the show talking about having a sex dungeon. And then, did you see the sex dungeon? She showed the sex dungeon for some magazine and everybody was dragging her. It was just like, girl, this is a guest room with a sex swing. I just think that Noella is doing the most. I don't think that she is really like this. I think she's magnifying herself for TV, and that's fine. Everybody does it. She's just going overboard. Yeah, me too, Josie. When I first saw the cast release for this season, I got excited because I thought it was Gretchen, and I was like, "Oh, that's not Gretchen." Oh, but she does look like a mixture of Gretchen and Teddy. Oh, okay. So Ryan is 40 and she's 45. That's not a big age difference though. Like it's just they they just seem very May December. Very May December. She gives me 50s, he gives me like 30s, 30s, mid to early 30s, not 40, but he's a surfer guy. So that's understandable. But she just, the way she acts is like they are just so, it's just like a huge age difference. Marvina said, Sweet James did his baby son dirty, disappearing. However, I think Noella wore this man out. She would make anyone crazy. He needs to man up and be close to make sure his son is okay because mama is crazy. That's why she's great for reality TV. IA said Noella doesn't have any black friends. I believe if there was another black woman on the show, Noella would take her down, not link up with her. Oh, yes, I absolutely believe that. I think that her and the sister will get into it. And then I think Noella will quickly, get it together with her because of optics. What I was saying was they do need a woman of another culture on there, preferably a black woman, or a Mexican woman, just because it's going to always look like the ladies are ganging up on Noella, and you just don't want to have a situation where the whole white cast is isolating or ganging up on the first black woman to be on the Real Housewives of Orange County. That's just like TV stuff. That's what I'm talking about, like producing stuff. It's just like the optics of it will not look good, but I'm not saying that Noella and the sister would get along. Absolutely not. If anything, having another black woman on that show would probably make the situation concerning the other ladies in Noella look a little bit better, right? Because if the sister's also like, girl, you're doing too much, then it doesn't look like the ladies don't like Noella because she's different. Just optics. Are the Real Housewives letting producers cause marriage problems for them, or are they already in marriage problems and coming on the show to get out of those marriage problems? Let's give them something to think about. Oh, don't worry, Rael. Don't worry. I put it up today. I thought I put it up last night, but I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching Drag Race. Oh, God. Rael said Gina should have told her friend about the gift issue. Who doesn't give their friend a heads up? But her and Noella, their friendship is very fragile because it's very new. I think she would have told Emily, but Noella, they're still getting to know each other. Kyra. Got it, Kyra. Thank you. Thank you. The only reason why I was thinking that it might be Kara is because of the girl. If you watch my Love Island reviews, we had her name is spelled the same way, but she says her name is pronounced Kara. So just wanted to make sure I was saying your name right. Oh, Nikita, thank you. Nikita said, I'm so glad to see you live. Just finished a chiropractic appointment after a crash. Oh my God. And it Uber 2 weeks ago. Oh God, Nikita. I'm glad that you're okay. You getting paid? All right now. All right now. Get every dime. Get every dime. Get every dime and heal up. Heal up. Sending you love and healing prayers. Let's love on our Star family, Nikita Star fam. Let's love on her and send her send some good vibes her way so that she can have a speedy recovery. Miss T said Shannon is definitely off her game this season, but why? She doesn't have Tamara and Vicky. Shannon is a kind of character who can't stand on her own. She needs the support. She needs to be a part of the Trace Amigas to have a voice for herself. And the only way she can have a voice for herself is if she knows that somebody will be there to back her up. Unfortunately, but it's just no shade. Not everybody, is confrontational. I'm not confrontational, but I'll tell you one thing. You get me to the point, you gonna see me, and I don't need to have no backup. So I understand. Own it. Own it. Liberal said not even a guest room. That sex dungeon looked like a closet. Yeah. She's doing the most. Doing the most. Hey, Kyra. Kyra said, I'm sorry, but I'm over Noella crying about being broke and she keeps those 2 diamond encrusted Cartier bracelets on if they're real. I think she's doing that for alimony and child support. That's what I think she's doing. Because every time Noella shows up, she is dressed to the nines, living her best life. So I think she's doing all of that because this, the footage of everything that she's doing can be used against her, used against or for her when she goes to get that man's money. If there's any left, child, he went to Puerto Rico and hid all his assets. Yes, Megan King Edmonds, we need her on this show. We need her on this show. Andy got to do better. Tracy said, shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social medias. Yes, Star family, please like the video. It helps your girl in the YouTube algorithm. Before I get out of here, I wanted to recast this show with you guys. So for me, I said that I would definitely keep Heather, Noella. I would bring back Megan King Edmonds. I would bring back Tamra. I would bring back Bronwyn, and I would bring back Shannon. Shannon or Bronwyn can be friends of the show, but that is who I would cast for season 17 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Who would you cast? Let's get into it. And I know some of you are not Bronwyn fans, but I'm telling you, for TV, she's good, guys. She is good TV. She is a producer's dream because she will do the work. I think the only reason why Bronwyn did not come back is because the cast hated her. The cast hated her, and I think they stood together and was just like, we don't want to be on the show with her. And at the end of the day, Bravo can recast an entire show, but who wants to go through all the chaos of that? So I think they stood together and they got rid of Bronwyn. IA said, please listen to the Barvo. Did you mean Barvo docket, or did you mean to write Bravo docket podcast? The last episode is about Dr. Jen. I'm not calling her man scammers, but it sounds like it. What? IA, give me some, since you mentioned it, give me just a gist of what they were talking about and why you think Dr. Jen and her husband are scammers. Oh, wow. TS said, keep Shannon, get rid of everyone else, start fresh. Okay. Oh my God. Dr. Ren said, cancel OC. There's no point. I don't like any of them. Well, I did not expect this. Okay. I do think that OC does, deserve a pause. If you're going to, and you can tell I'm mad about this, if you're going to put the Real Housewives of New York on pause, you can definitely put OC on pause. Ryan said, for me, it's a throw away the whole thing and recast completely. Not even Heather? I think Heather is so good for the OC. I used to want her to be on New York, but she couldn't handle New York. She can handle the OC. But wow, you guys are done with OC. Damn it. I'm telling you, Tamra, Megan, Noella, Heather, right there, we got some stuff. Every episode, those ladies will be going after it. Every episode. Oh my gosh. Oh, TS said, I can't stand Heather from season 9. Is there a different Heather? You know who I would love to get back on the show? Lori, but I know she can never do it because, of the issues with her son. But she seems to be doing really well. Lori and what is her name? The one that says, I'll take you out back and get Oklahoma on you. What is her name? Unfortunately, the only way that I can describe her is her husband was the one who had financial issues and committed suicide. Is it Brandy? No, it's not Brandy. Taylor. Is it Taylor? I think her name is Taylor. No, she was on Beverly Hills, not Orange County. Damn it. Well, make her come to Orange County. She will be good. Oh no, Dr. Rim says she's over Bravo. Oh no, yeah, Taylor Armstrong. Bring her back to Beverly Hills. She was good. She said, I'll take you out back and I'll get Oklahoma on you. Everybody was like, Taylor, what are you talking about? Auntie even brought it up at the reunion. He was like, what did you mean by that? She was just like, I don't know. I was upset. Taylor, you knew what you was talking about. You knew what you was talking about. But if we can't get Taylor, Jesus Barbie. Jesus Barbie would be good. Yeah, that's true, Morgan. Morgan's that's why Tamara has to come back. That's true, Morgan. I do like I agree with you. Heather is great TV because listen, she's a snob, but she has money. That's what this show was supposed to be about. The Real Housewives, the whole franchise has become about these ladies and their financial troubles. Like we want to see money. We want to. That's why Kathy Hilton is good on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Although the alleged $2 million that she got, I do not think that she deserved. I do not think that anybody on Bravo should be getting paid more than the cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Below Deck, because the numbers are always there for Below Deck and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They are all both of those shows go over 1 million viewers every time. Every time. So those are the only shows that I think that cast should be getting paid in the millions since they keep the lights on at Bravo. Potomac too, but Potomac just started to get those numbers. But yeah. Oh, I haven't seen them. Are they not good? Are her reviews not good? I could only imagine her reviews as her screaming and saying mean things. And it's just like, who needs that? Who needs that? Oh, okay. Thank you, IA. IA said, sorry, the Bravo docket. She made another man pay for her and Ryan's. Oh, yes, Ryan's fertility treatment, and then tried to pass off the babies off as his. She was scamming the billionaire for his money. Messy. I did read something about that. I'm definitely going to look into it. I'm definitely going to look into it because she did say something last episode about how she got sued by the billionaire and she had to pay him back everything. And she did pay him back. So are those kids her and Ryan? Are those their children? Or are those no, it can't be the billionaire's children because the billionaire is Asian. No, well, Asian. No, Pacific Islander. Yeah, so they can't be her kids. They have to be her kids. Well, I didn't really see the kids up close. Let me know. Bria, hey Bria, said to me, Heather's wealth is her whole personality. I prefer someone who was wealthy, plus funny, plus shady. Heather isn't. I agree. But she represents the OC well. Snobby rich women. Oh, Kyra said Heather, Megan, Tamara for me off top. Absolutely. Oh gosh, that would be such a good cast. That would be such a good cast. The witch lady from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the way she kept them heifers on their toes. Oh, she was good TV. Ryan said Jose Canseco's ex-wife. I don't know about her. I think she would get into too many fights because she was on a reality TV show, another reality TV show about wealthy housewives or whatever. And she was always fighting. And Orange County just don't do that. Orange County is not a fighting one. Orange County is not a fighting one. Well, fam, thank you so much for joining me. I know a lot of us don't watch the Real Housewives of Orange County, but I thought enough of us did to talk about it, and that's why we are here. I'm actually going to get out of here because I got to get ready for Married at First Sight. That show has been very, very interesting. So mad that I missed so many episodes with you guys, but we're here today. Again, thank you all for taking time out of your day to join me. If you can't join me for Married at First Sight, I'll see you tomorrow for... Oh my God, today is Thursday? I'll see you tomorrow for Love is Blind and Drag Race. Oh, and Love After Lockup. That's a lot of reviews. I might do Drag Race on Saturday. Anyway, so I'll see you all tomorrow for Love at the Lockup and Love is Blind. Love you. Bye. Or in like 40 minutes for Married at First Sight. Oh, wait, somebody answered this. Love during lockup. Thank you. You know what? JB says what? Do you know if love during lockup and love after lockup are they going to be on at the same time? Because I saw a trailer yesterday for Love After Lockup and they said premiering in March. And I'm like, how many more episodes are left of Love During Lockup? Let me know if you got the tea on that, because that was confusing to me. Thank you, IA, for answering this. IA says, yep, they are Ryan's babies, but the billionaire thought they were his. And Jen had a shady friend scam. Oh, listen. Now, if we're going to get into her being a scammer, she might have to stick around. If not, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Okay, so you guys think they'll be playing at the same time. Then how are we going to watch? Well, maybe one will come, or maybe one will be at 8 and then the other one will be at 9. Oh my God, today. Those Friday night lives are going to be long if I'm doing both shows. Oh Lord. Anyway, see you all for Married at First Sight. Bye.